Let me just get this in here so I want to show you the back of my t-shirt while I'm cooking. You see what it says? Be a weapon, not a tool. I just bought this from a company called Mad Hatter Industries. And when I saw it on their website, I immediately went where my brain went, and I went to the next level about it. So I want to talk about it today while I'm making some chili and focaccia bread here. And if you can see, I got the range hood up. Be a weapon, not a tool can sound derogatory. It can almost sound like an insult to some people, but that's the surface level thing. And it's striking because it makes you think. Because it makes you think about who you are and what that means to you. What does it mean to be a tool? You know, and in the sort of the pejorative sense, a tool could be an idiot or somebody who has no value or doesn't care about things or always makes mistakes, but that's not necessarily what that means. And in my head, what a tool is something that somebody else uses for their own gain and for their own purposes. So when it says be a weapon, not a tool, the thing that I think of is a very personal and subjective experience of life. When you're somebody's tool, it means that they're using you. They're utilizing something in you, whether it's you being too nice, whether it's you being naive, or whether it's you not having agency over yourself. They're using that to better themselves. They're using that to create more success in their life. Maybe they're using that for other nefarious reasons. And let me give you a personal example. I was a policeman for 21 years. I didn't serve 21 full years because of illness, but overall I was a policeman for 21 years. And I can't tell you the number of times I saw men and women with boot prints on their backs. And not because the general public was kicking them, but because other police officers were using them like stepping stools, throwing them under the bus, using them as tools. And so what's the opposite of being a tool? Well, it's being a weapon. A weapon is a sword and a shield. A weapon is somebody who has agency over themselves. Being a weapon means being somebody who can think about their own thoughts, somebody who can be independent and more aligned with their truer self, somebody who stops being a yes man or a yes woman, somebody who identifies themselves as a unique character in this game of life. So with Mad Hatter Industries, and I urge you guys to check them out. This is not a paid promotion. These guys are just awesome guys. The owner, his name is Corey Hatt. A couple years ago when my house fire destroyed everything we had, his company reached out and I got a t-shirt in the mail as a little gesture of kindness. And so just recently I decided to go onto their website again and buy some stuff now that I can. And I want this to be profound in your life. I want you to stop looking at yourself like a tool, like something that somebody else is using for their own betterment. One of the greatest things that's been taken away from us all is our autonomy. We're all led to believe that somebody else is more important and that their thoughts and their opinions are more important and more value than ours. And you see it everywhere in life. You see it through nepotism. You see it in the promotion process. You see it out in public in social spaces. That so many people cower away from their own personal agency. They give up their own power. They hand somebody the pen and somebody else writes the story of their life. They stop being their own sword and shield. They stop looking to themselves for answers. They stop introspecting. And then it's those evil men and women out there, the narcissists, who take advantage of those people. So, in a deeper sense, and thanks, and my hat goes off to Mad Hatter Industries for making some really awesome clothing. And not only that, but they dedicate themselves to bettering people through mental health awareness. Being a weapon, not being a tool, is an important thing for all of us to do. And you know, you look around the world right now, And so many of us have been duped by PSYOP into believing that we should just allow the government to do all of our thinking for us. And then we become tools for the government. We become voting tools. Hi.
I need scissors.
You need scissors? Come on in. There's scissors over there.
Oh.
Grab those ones out of the cutting block, okay? Just make sure you bring them back. You good? Yeah? It's my kids. They're sorting Pokemons. The government weaponizes us for their own personal gain. People in the big tech, big pharma, big food, big agriculture, they use us as tools. They take away our agency by duping us into believe things. They've commoditized our entire lives so that we're consumers without thought. They bring their own agenda and their own ideals into our lives, and we accept them hook, line, and sinker without remembering that we, as individual humans, have unique characteristics built within us. We all have opinions. We all have inalienable rights. And if this is striking a chord and you're looking at yourself and you're like, oh no, maybe I should think about this a little bit more, then yeah, you should. It doesn't mean that you have to have guilt and shame over what you've done. It just means that you need to take responsibility for who you are. And maybe it's time to stand up and be truthful and honest, instead of being a tool for somebody else's pleasure, for somebody else's gain. We all live in a world where we are completely duped, where we are lied to continuously by the most powerful, the things that we call the elites. Well, elite generally is supposed to denote somebody that has worth and value. But look around, we all know that that's just a farce now, right? So maybe it's time that we all become weapons. And I'm not claiming that you become a weapon and try and harm people. I'm saying that you become your own sword and shield. I'm saying that you look at your life, recognize your own unique agency within this weird existential crisis that we call life, and understand that you are more than just a pawn in somebody else's chess game. Maybe it's time to stand up for who you are and for what you believe in. And you know, generally, most of us believe in certain things that are idealistic in the proper way. That we want a community based on traditional values. And we don't want to fall for the PSYOP anymore. We're sick and tired of being led to the slaughter, the proverbial slaughter, and sometimes the literal slaughter. We all need to stop being tools, and we all need to become weapons. It's time for us to all buck up and become a little bit stronger in our lives. It's time for all of us to stand together, united as independent people with independent dreams and independent goals, and instead of constantly turning the television or the internet on and being told what to buy, what to like, what to share, who to vote for, who to support, who to praise. Look in the mirror and give yourself some praise. Look in the mirror and have a cold, hard stare into your eyes, and then tell yourself, am I living my life, or am I a tool in somebody else's tool bag? Am I the one that's being weaponized against myself? Have I lost my agency and my independence because somebody else told me what to do and what to say and how to believe? So to Corey Hatt and Mad Hatter Industries, I say thank you so much. I really appreciate the personal handwritten letter that came in the mail, plus the coin. And if you have watched this video to the end, check out Mad Hatter Industries. This is not a paid promotion. This is just me saying thank you to some people out there that are making a difference in a small way. And you know what? It's not Under Armour. It's not Gucci, but it's something that has something on the shirt that really means something. And if you look at their website, there's going to be something for everybody. Cheers.